Yeah. So let's start out with the backpack itself. This is a Hyperlight Junction 3400. It's a 55-liter pack. It's got a roll top, as you can see, so it rolls down. This is the black, so it's a little bit of a thicker material, which is good because I'm a little bit reckless with my gear sometimes. This pack is not for everybody, so definitely make sure you try it on if you're thinking about getting one. There's different sizes and stuff, so definitely look at that. These are my trekking poles. These are the CNOC carbon fiber cork handle trekking poles. I gotta replace the tips, but I loved these. I like how you can get replacements for every part, the bottom, the middle, and the top, and also the handles. So these were awesome for me. They also hold up my tent, which we'll get to in a little bit, but big fan of those trekking poles. I got 3 water bottles, 1, 2, 3, just smart water bottles. The third one would go in this mesh right here. This is a Z-Pax shoulder water bottle holder. It was fine. There's my Garmin InReach Mini 2. Really like that. The battery life is insane on this, so definitely recommend. This is the Peak Design capture clip. This thing is awesome. It held my camera the whole time, which was a Sony A7 IV. This is me showing you, so a lot of people asked if it would hurt my shoulder. It never did. I had it a little bit lower, almost on my chest, and it was really great, super comfortable. I had the camera there, 2 pounds of camera there the entire trip, and I loved it. Super easy access on and off, so never rubbed my collarbone or anything like that. We'll start with the hip belt pockets, the hip belt pouches, if you will. On the left side, it's a lot of trash. That's usually where I just put Cliff Bar wrappers and stuff. Also a pair of headphones that I had. So there really wasn't much in that one. Maybe like some bug spray once in a while, but really just a lot of trash in that one. In the other one, I had a Ben's head net for insects and mosquitoes. Came in handy. I also had my Nitecore, I think it's the NBU25 or something like that, headlamp. This thing is awesome. I really like this. I highly recommend this to anyone. Super lightweight as well. And I also had some sunblock. I got a pretty gnarly sun rash on the back of my hands the first couple of days, so I always had this, used it on the back of my hands and also my face and legs and whatnot, so perfect. Here's the outside of the pack. This is my sit pad. Nothing too special, it's just like a piece of foam from like a foam rest or a sleeping pad, a Nemo one I think. I found that in a hiker box, they're all over the place. Here's my water filter. This is a CNOC 2-liter bladder with the Sawyer squeeze. And I have the coupling on the Sawyer squeeze that screws right on to smart water bottles. I really love that. Next is my tent stake bag. This is just a Sea to Summit bag, nothing too special about it. And I had all my tent stakes and then a few extras in there. The tent stakes are the MSR Groundhogs. They're the long ones, the regular ones, not the mini. A lot of people like the mini ones, but for snow and, I don't know, extra support, I like the long ones. I never had a problem with them. This is my toiletry bag that I kept on the outside of my pack. Really, the main reason why is because my poop kit is right on top in this blue bag here. Also lined with just in a Ziploc bag too. So I got the Deuce of Spades trowel, a roll of toilet paper, and hand sanitizer in there. So good for easy access. This is some Aleve or ibuprofen. You could have either one. That's always good to have just in case. This was like my little medical pouch. This is just some Band-Aids, antiseptic, a little knife in there, tiny mini Swiss Army knife, and some Tums as well. Some Body Glide. Big fan of this stuff. I used it every day. And this is just a toothbrush. It's my CVS travel toothbrush. I like how it had the cover. And I like that it had that little extension thing. I went through 2 of them on trail. It was perfect. They're really great. They're super light. So it was perfect, yeah. Finally, in the mesh, I just had a pair of gloves here in case my hands got cold, especially in the Sierras. You don't want to have to dig through your pack for gloves, so this was pretty nice to have on the outside of my pack. In the desert and whatnot, I'd probably keep them inside. All right, we're gonna roll the pack up, and this is gonna be how it's packed on the PCT. So we'll start with the stuff that's on top, and then I'll repack it. First is my food bag. This is a Hilltop Pack food bag. It's Dyneema. It has a bear hang loop as well for a rope. I think it hold a few days of food. I think they advertise like 5 to 7 days of food you can hold in there. We all know that's definitely not true. But it definitely held probably 4 to 5 days, and I think it was fine. It's nice to have a food bag. Really enjoyed it. Right below my food bag was my cook stuff, and also next to it was my electronics, which we'll get to. But first is my Toaks 750 milliliter pot. I kept the orange sort of thing around it. Some people got rid of it, but I liked it. Kept it together and kept stuff warm if you needed to. Long spork or long spoon is huge on there. I highly recommend that. It really worked well for me. It's just a Sea to Summit long handle spork. It was perfect. I will use it forever. This is just a small canister of gas. I typically carried 2 small canisters, so when I ran out of one, I could just go to the other. That way I never was truly out of gas. That system worked well for me, but a lot of people were like, what are you doing? This is just my stove. It's an Amazon one. It was like $12 or $15. There's really nothing too special about it. You can see it's pretty well used and worn. The igniter eventually broke on it, so I carried a lighter, which I carried a mini lighter anyway. But I really enjoy it. It still works, so I've still been using it. And then here's just a lighter. Like I said, I would use a mini lighter, but this is just a full-sized one that I had in there. So that worked fine. Nothing special there. That's my cooking stuff. So right next to my cooking stuff was my electronics bag, which, as you can see, I used the Thermarest bag that came with my Thermarest. It had all this stuff in a Ziploc bag as well in case it got wet. First is the Anker plug. It's a dual USB plug. It has fast charging, so it worked really well. Nothing to it. This is just a lightning cable for my iPhone. I used it in the Anker, but also in my external battery. Here's a USB-C cable to charge other things like my Garmin, and also this. So this is the Nitecore NB1000. This was probably the most popular battery bank on trail. I really liked it. It's the lightest for the most power, so it was really, really good. No problem there. Charges with USB-C and has a USB port as well to charge, whatever. This is a SD card reader that I got from Amazon as well. I was big on photography and video stuff out there, so you can see there's an SD card and there's a mini SD card or micro. Also has a lightning port there, so I can charge and do the transferring at the same time. So it worked really well, and it has a couple of different ports, so I could use it in a computer, my phone, an Android if someone needed it or whatever. So super lightweight, didn't weigh pretty much weighed nothing. So had a spare battery for my camera. It's like the Z100 battery or something like that. I think 2 batteries was the sweet spot for me, so it worked really well. So next is my rolled down sort of trash bag here. It's just a black trash compactor bag. Every garage probably has one. So it worked really well for sort of weatherproofing even more. The pack is pretty weatherproof, but it just helped a lot. Next up is my puffy. This is the Mountain Hardware Ghost Whisperer 2. There's a lot of back and forth between people on this puffy. I am excited to say that I loved it. This thing is super warm, it's super compactable, and it's super lightweight. So I really enjoyed it. Some people, weren't the biggest fans of them, but I felt it was a really good product. Pretty fragile, but I think that's with any down puffy. I believe it's an 800 fill or maybe a 600 fill down puffy, Really enjoyed it. Next is my sleeping bag. This is a custom-made Enlightened Equipment sleeping bag. This is a 950 fill down sleeping bag. It's technically a quilt, but I got the zipper all the way to the top, so that's a custom thing that I got. Just because I'm not a big quilt person. This is kind of where I'm not ultra light, I guess. The bag compresses down super well. The foot box is totally sewn, totally enclosed, no drawstring or zipper there. I really like the sleeping bag kind of feel. I wasn't quite ready for a quilt. The inner fabric is a 7D inner fabric, very lightweight. The outside's a 10D fabric, so kind of better against the moisture if any condensation in the tent, which I had a one-person tent, so definitely would. But yeah, the inner fabric is nice. It's super light. Like I said, this is a 950 fill bag. Got a drawstring up there too, so I could kind of shut it closed if it was really cold. No airflow in there. Next is my hiking pants. These are just Piranha men's hiking pants for like the summertime. There's not a lot to them. They're not the lightest in the world. They're definitely not the heaviest either though. They were great. Like I used them as rain pants, or if it was super windy and my legs were just absolutely freezing, I could just throw these on. Big thing with pants is making sure you can put them on over your boots or over your shoes. And these did that for me, so I could just throw them on, take them off anytime. Super nice. I really liked it. This is my beanie. I got it at 7-Eleven like 6 or 7 years ago or something. There's not a lot to it. It's just a brown beanie. My Neo Air X Lite. This was my sleeping pad. It's very, very light. It's one of the lightest ones you can get. Thermarest has a lifetime warranty. So I had no complaints. I had one hole. They replaced it for me for free. So I got a new one from them. So it was pretty sweet. It's the long version, in case you were wondering. All the reviews say it's super, super loud and annoying. It's really not that bad. It's not a big deal at all. These are my sort of leggings or long underwear. I pretty much use these just when I slept. I like to, change out of my hiking shorts and just have something, and they were pretty warm. Occasionally I would wear them. I would put them on and then wear my shorts over them if it was usually in the Sierras and cold mornings. I could have just used my hiking pants, but sometimes this was just a little bit nicer. This is my pillow. It's a Cedar Summit Aeros or something like that. I don't think it's the large version. It might be the small or medium if they even have that. But there's not much to it. There's a lot of back and forth on pillows out there. But I was pro pillow. I really liked having a pillow. 3 breaths and there you have it. You got a whole freaking pillow, man. Pretty sweet. It literally weighed nothing. It was super, super light. So I honestly didn't mind carrying it, especially for the amount of comfort that it gives. Extra socks. This is an extra pair of Injinji liner socks. I used Injinji liner socks with Darn Tough over it. Nothing too special. Here's the trash compactor bag again. It was super great. Like I said, you can find it like anywhere, probably in your garage. And at the very bottom of my pack is my tent. This is a Z-Pax Ultiplex tent. It works super well for me. I'm about 6'1", maybe 6'2", and this tent is really light. It's super compactable, which is nice. It just shoves at the bottom of my pack. Do I swear by it? No, I wouldn't say I swear by it, but it's fine. I also forgot to show my rain jacket. I had this blue Janji trail running jacket, which I then swapped out for this yellow REI Rainier jacket. Both worked super well. Bear canister, as you can see. Nobody likes it. Nobody really wants it, but you have to have it. I put some cool stickers on it. I even wrote my name on there somewhere. Still got the shipping stuff on there. But yeah, you gotta have it. It's required in the Sierras, so I did carry. I think it's the BV500, this one. It says it carries like 6 or 7 days of food. It's completely wrong. It carries maybe 3 to 4, but we all know that, whatever. I had a big black diamond ice axe. I don't really know the model, but It's huge, and it is pretty light, believe it or not, but I never had to use it, thankfully. But if I had to, it could save your life. In the Sierras, you really want to make sure you have one. It was a low snow year, so there was a lot of debate. This is how it would look in the Sierras. This would just go on top, and I'd use the front strap there and just strap it on. And yeah, it was fine. Made it a little top heavy, but it is what it was. Had to do it. Now we're going to pack up the bag just how I would on the PCT. So I would unpack everything and repack it every morning. So first we'd start with the tent. Then we would line the pack with the trash bag. Again, just a black trash bag. Next would go my sleeping pad, then my clothes, because I probably didn't need them, my beanie and my pillow. Then I would put my sleeping bag in there, you know, all in the trash bag to keep this stuff dry in case, you know, crazy river crossing thing or rain. My puffy would go above that in case I did kind of need that when I got to camp. Shove it all down there. Now we can just roll it up and again shove it to the bottom. No stuff sacks for any of this. There's my cook supplies in the red bag, and in the black bag was my electronics. They kind of go side by side. Then my food would go right on top. And on the exterior, we have my toiletries and poop kit there. You kind of want that easily accessible. Next, my water filter, my tent stake bag, and my sit pad go right on the outside there. My gloves. Again, could probably put those in the pack if I didn't really need them, but I like to have them outside. Just gonna put my poles on the side for now. It's usually how it was in town. And then, as you can see, we can roll it down and clip it in there. Clip it all together, compacts down super nice. Or compresses down super nice. And this is pretty much it. I mean, that's my pack. That's what I took on the PCT. It worked super well for me. And thank you guys for watching and following along.